If you've ever suffered from a gout flare, then you know that gout pain is unlike anything you've ever experienced before. Gout is caused by high levels of uric acid in the bloodstream, which occurs when the body breaks down purine, a naturally occurring chemical found in food. You can naturally reduce your body's uric acid levels by eating a low-purine diet. It also helps to eat anti-inflammatory foods to help alleviate painful joint inflammation. We've put together a list of the 15 worst foods for gout that you should avoid immediately to start feeling better soon. Number 1. Soda. Foods that are high in refined sugar are your worst enemy anytime you are dealing with high levels of inflammation, such as during a gout attack. This is because sugar feeds inflammation, worsening the pain and tenderness in your joints. Research shows that there is a link between sugar-sweetened beverages, such as soda, and gout. Inflammation also affects the whole body, making it harder for your kidneys to flush excess levels of uric acid to keep gout attacks away. Soda tops the chart because it contains lots of sugar and no fiber. It bypasses most of the digestive process and enters the bloodstream quickly, raising insulin levels and encouraging you to consume more sugar when your glucose levels drop, creating a vicious inflammatory cycle. Water is a much better choice as it supports kidney health by flushing excess uric acid levels and toxins. Proper hydration also helps regulate the immune system to control inflammation. Number 2. Red meat. Red meat should be avoided if you have gout because it contains higher levels of purine, which can raise uric acid levels and fuel a gout attack or worsen an existing flare. According to one study, the risk of gout is positively linked to the intake of red meat, alcohol, fructose, and seafood. Try replacing red meat with a vegetable protein that is lower in purine, such as garbanzo beans, and pair it with a low-purine vegetable, such as sautéed bell peppers. Number 3. Alcohol. While beer is sometimes the only alcoholic beverage to make its way on the do not eat list, it's best to avoid all alcohol if you are concerned about a gout attack. Research shows that all types of alcohol may provoke an attack, including beer, wine, and liquor. In addition to increasing uric acid levels in the body, alcohol may impair kidney health, making it hard to clear uric acid from the body. It may also negatively impact immune health and induce an inflammatory reaction that can worsen your joint pain. Number 4. White bread. White bread is another food that should be avoided if you have recurring gout attacks because it's highly inflammatory and may contribute to joint pain and swelling. In fact, you may want to avoid gluten altogether, as research shows there is a link between gluten consumption and intestinal inflammation, which may lead to joint pain such as osteoporosis. Keep in mind that many gluten-free breads are also highly inflammatory as they contain refined sugars, grains, and other fillers to make up for the lack of gluten. Try making your own bread with almond or coconut flours, as these appear to be better tolerated during flare-ups. Number 5. Organ meat. Like red meat, organ meats are high in purine and should be avoided if you are trying to reduce uric acid levels. Examples of organ meats that you should avoid include liver, heart, brains, and intestines from cows, pigs, lambs, chickens, goats, and other animals. Number 6. Shellfish. Seafood can be troublesome if you have gout because of the higher content of purine found in these foods. Avoid all shellfish, such as shrimp, crayfish, crab, lobster, clams, scallops, oysters, and mussels, as well as anchovies, mackerel, and sardines if you are trying to keep your uric acid levels down. Eggs are a good replacement for many of the protein-rich foods that you can't eat during a gout flare. Research shows that eggs are not positively associated with gout like organ meats and shellfish are. Nuts are another good option if you are looking for safe protein choices for gout. Number 7. Oatmeal. You may want to avoid oatmeal, or at least limit your intake of it if you are seeking relief from gout pain. Oatmeal contains about 50 to 150 milligrams of purine per 100 grams of oats, putting it in the moderate range of worst foods for gout. try switching up your morning bowl of oats a few times a week for a healthy, anti-inflammatory smoothie made with unsweetened almond milk, frozen berries, avocado, nut butter, and turmeric or other herbs to reduce gout pain and swelling. Number 8. Spinach. There are not many situations in which a health expert will tell you to avoid eating spinach. However, as a moderate purine vegetable, it might be best to avoid spinach or at least replace it with another green vegetable if you are trying to recover from gout. Keep in mind that spinach offers plenty of other reasons to eat it, including its high levels of anti-inflammatory compounds that can reduce pain and swelling. So don't worry about omitting spinach from your diet altogether, but consider limiting your intake to about a half a cup per day. Number 9. Natto. Natto, or fermented soybeans, contains a moderate amount of purine, about 100 to 200 milligrams of purine for every 100 grams. Soy falls in a gray area because, as a legume, it contains hard-to-digest compounds called anti-nutrients that induce intestinal inflammation and prevent the absorption of some minerals. Others find that fermented soy reduces inflammation because it's a natural source of probiotics. You may want to avoid all soy-based foods during a gout attack, including tofu, soybeans, soy sauce, and tempeh, or at least reduce your consumption. Number 10. Lentils. Lentils contain about 50 to 100 milligrams of purine for every 100 grams serving, making it one of the foods that you may want to limit your intake of to help control gout. Like soy, lentils are a legume and contain anti-nutrient compounds that may induce intestinal inflammation and worsen swollen joints. Number 11. Mushrooms. Dried shiitake mushrooms contain very high amounts of purine, over 300 milligrams per 100 grams serving. Avoiding all mushrooms is a good idea, even when you are not in a gout flare. Some broths and stocks contain mushrooms. Be sure to avoid these as well. Number 12. Broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts are usually added to sandwiches or salads in many restaurants or deli shops. However, they contain moderate levels of purine and should be avoided if you have a gout flare. You may also want to avoid broccoli and cauliflower. These cruciferous vegetables are usually prized for their cancer-fighting abilities. However, they also contain about 100 to 200 milligrams of purine per 100 grams serving, placing them on the moderate purine vegetable list. Number 13. Seaweed. Dried seaweed is very high in purine, making it one of the worst foods for gout. It contains over 300 milligrams of purine per 100 grams serving. It is best to avoid nori, hijiki, and wakame seaweed if you are trying to manage your gout symptoms. Seaweed can be found in sushi and many Japanese-inspired dishes. However, many plant-based supplements and whole food multivitamins may contain seaweed. Number 14. Parsley. Parsley contains high levels of purine, about 200 to 300 milligrams of purine per 100 grams serving. Keep in mind that most of the time, you won't be eating parsley in large amounts of 100 grams. Parsley is generally used as a spice that is added to food in small amounts. However, you may want to avoid salads or dishes that contain larger amounts of parsley, such as tabbouleh. Parsley can also be found in many spice blends or restaurant dishes. Number 15. Beans. Beans fall into the category of moderate purine content, making them a food group that is best avoided if you have gout. Additionally, like other legumes on this list, beans contain inflammatory compounds that may worsen inflammation. Many people with inflammatory disorders feel better after removing beans from their diet or soaking them in water to reduce their anti-nutrient compounds. We've outlined the worst foods that you can eat for gout in this video. In general, research shows that a diet high in animal protein foods may worsen gout. However, there are several plant-based foods that should be avoided as well because they contain higher amounts of purine, and this may increase uric acid levels in the body. Consider omitting or reducing your intake of the foods listed in this video to reduce gout pain and inflammation and prevent future flare-ups. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you learn more about gout, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so that each week we release a brand new life-saving video, you'll get notified right away. Till next time.